Morning. Good morning. I am back home. I am back home in the comfort of my own place. Hello, welcome. My name is Nicole, and I'm the owner of Unity Fit Home Fitness, fitness in the convenience of your own space, whatever space that might be. And I've been on holidays all week. And so I've started doing some different lives to kind of have conversation with you about nutrition, about my journey, the things that have worked for me. And I invite you to join in and follow along, and let's talk about this stuff. So my name is Nicole. Like I said, I am 53 years old, and I have hypothyroidism. My doctor says it's, when your brain just kind of goes blah. What's that word? Like, I literally cannot think of hypothyroid. It is, yeah. So anyways, let's just say it's hypothyroidism, because it's like literally, there you go. Your brain just goes, it just stops. So yeah. And so I'm very authentic. I'm very open. I say things, it's not scripted. It's just kind of I just go. And I literally cannot think of the word. See, that's going to drive me crazy that I can't think of the word. Anyways, let's talk about what we're talking about. Nutrition and hypothyroidism. And what is the word? What is that word? Wow. Can anybody relate to this right now? So I'm literally going to actually Google the word, because I cannot think of the word. And I feel like it is very frustrating when you can't find something. Anyways, here it is. Gonna find it. Just wait. Or called, you guys, this is terrible. Or, oh my gosh, Hashimoto's. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, okay, does anybody relate to that when you cannot think of what you're trying to say? Thanks. Anyway, so let's talk about some nutrition. This is great. You guys you're welcome. You're welcome. Like, you just see the good old me. Like, this is how it is. And you know what? Whatever. You don't like it, then you don't like it. So then that's just the way it's going to be. Some people like me. So what were we talking about? Yeah, nutrition. Let's talk about nutrition. I lost my train of thought. You know, when you just lose your train of thought and you're thinking about things and then it just kind of goes because you got... Anyways, let's talk about it. So I was on holidays for the whole week, and I started doing lives, and we were talking about nutrition, about why I eat the way I do, why I do the things I do today, because it's about your future self. It's not about just today. It's about your future self. So at 53, your body's going through changes. I believe that I've been going through menopause. I don't know. I'm assuming so, because I haven't had a period in a long time. I don't remember when. And I deal with hypothyroidism, or Hashimoto's. So I have been dealing with this for the past 25 years. And when I first was diagnosed, at first, actually, I was thinking that it was actually postpartum depression. And so I did start with antidepressants. And thought, no, this doesn't feel right. So that's like a long time. It's like 25 years ago. And you think about it, 25 years ago, like, what did we know about this stuff? Like, we didn't know a lot about things today. Like, now it's like, you think about how much 25 years of learning and the knowledge, even thyroid. So when I found out what was my thyroid, I really had no idea what that even meant. Nobody really explained to me, what does your thyroid do? Nobody explained to me how important your thyroid is. No one. And it's very important, because it's a little gland. It's right in your throat here. And that little sucker controls your body. Yeah, it sure does. It controls so many things. Our moods. It controls our weight. It controls our appearance. It controls our mind, like everything. Then if your thyroid ain't working well, like, yeah, you ain't working well either. True story. So I've had episodes where my hair has fallen out. I've had actually spots where there was a little bit of alopecia, just like no hair. I've had weight gain. I've had bouts of depression. I've had, and it's gone the other way. It's gone hyperthyroid, because I've had both. So with hyperthyroidism, It feels like you're going a million miles a minute. You can get high blood pressure. You can have dry skin. Your eyes can get buggy. What else can happen? Weight loss. I think I said that already. Mind. Like your mind becomes very clouded. Foggy mind. So all of these symptoms I would have your thyroid checked for sure. So anyways, carrying on. So 25 years later, well, even before that, I realized, I need to fix this. Like can I fix this? They say, once you get on medication, you'll never come off medication. And, I've been on medication for the 25 years, but I have lowered my dose to half. I switched over to a desiccated medication, which was prescribed by my doctor. It is a natural type of medication, but it is prescribed and you get it at the pharmacy. It's not just a supplement. And so from there, I've actually lowered my dose by half. Yes, I know, right? How cool is that? There's other things that I have done to get myself into that position, though. I changed my diet completely. I don't eat processed foods. I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink caffeine. I do have decaf. I don't have sugar. So people be like, well, that's not a lot of fun. I don't know. That you're not living if you don't do this and this and this. And I'm thinking, you know what? I think I am. I am living. I'm living my best life. And I feel really great because I don't wake up with a stomachache anymore. And my hair is not falling out. And my skin's looking really great. And my brain is good, except for that bout when I couldn't remember what I was trying to tell you about. So those are the trade-offs. Living is feeling good, like waking up and feeling great. And I get these comments and, like, wouldn't you rather this? Well, I don't know. Wouldn't you rather not feel like crap? Like, that's my thought. Like, I would rather not feel like garbage. Am I wrong? Like, to me, that's what's important, is not feeling like garbage. So, and if you don't know what it feels like to not feel like garbage, it's a pretty good feeling. I don't have really a lot of symptoms anymore. Like, I've been very, very balanced. And I've changed, like I said, like all these things, plus exercise. Exercise is huge. You need to move your body. You need to get up and get moving. So when I say do things today that your future self will thank you for, your future is depending on you, on what you're doing at this very moment. Like, what are you doing at this very moment? Because when we don't do things to take care of it, as we get older, things are going to start happening. Things are going to start happening. Give me 1 second here. I just got to do one thing. I got to keep track of how long I'm live here because I have some things I need to do. It's my granddaughter's first birthday party and I made her a cake. And so I need to not be on here too long because I can get talking and I can do a lot of talking. So when I made these choices to take out certain things, it's been, first of all, let's go back. It started with taking out gluten. So my thyroid, so this is what was happening. And this was 9 years ago. And my doctor, she looked at me. She goes, I don't know what the hell is going on with your thyroid. She goes, but your body's starting to autoimmune itself. She says, so I'm going to send you to an endocrinologist. And that's where it started. So I go to this endocrinologist and he looked at me. He's like, well, you don't look like you have a thyroid problem. Well, thanks, tips. Well, my blood work would show different, but whatever. So anyway, so he sent me to for blood work to see if I was celiac because it's an autoimmune. So it goes hand in hand. However, I wasn't, but the doctor that had sent me to him, she said, you're not celiac. She said, but you have the markers with the proteins in your body that it's best if you don't eat it. So it's not going to kill, it's not going to harm, like, totally, it's not, she goes, this is how she explained it. If I have an allergy to cats, I cannot be around cats. But if I had a sensitivity to cats, I might get some symptoms, but I'm not going to be completely, it's not like going to be the end of the world. Okay. So I just chose the path of not having it because it makes a difference. So once you take that out, the bloating stopped. And so that was one thing. That's another thing that I took out years ago. But I still didn't understand how important this little gland really was. Didn't understand. Nobody really, like I said, nobody explained it to me. Nobody really, and I've done my own research. So fast forward, I switched over my nutrition, and I do, I'm more of I do keto, carnivore. I do not, like when I say keto, I don't make all those keto desserts. I don't do like almond flour, and I don't do coconut flour. I don't add all those things to make cookies and cakes. I don't do that. That's not what I want to do, because I know it can add to other inflammation, other issues. So then my meals are meat and my fats, and that's pretty much it, with a little bit of carbs. So I get questions about, like, what are you eating? Well, I eat my beef or a chicken or fish. I have my meat first. That's your proteins. Then I have my fats, which are avocado oil or avocado. Avocado is also has carbs. I use butter. I use a lot of butter. Beef tallow, I'll use that. And then the carbs that I have, a little bit of carbs that I have would be blueberries and maybe green apples, and like I said, the avocado. And that's all I have. So I'll get the question, so how do you live without carbs? Like, you can't live without carbs. Well, this has been a year and a half without carbs. Maybe in a day I have 20 or 30 carbs, and that's it. So someone will say, well, what are carbs? Carbs are your pasta, your breads, your cookies, your cakes. Those are carbs. Sugars, fruit, vegetables, those have carbs in them. Then you have your fat. That's what the fat would be, like I said, the butters and the oils, the good oils. And then you have your proteins, meats, okay, and fish and eggs. I can't have eggs anyways. I found out that I'm genetically, I can't have eggs. All right. So anyways, that's what I started looking into. And I started out doing carnivore first. So I took out all the vegetables. I took out all the fruit, and I just stuck with that. And I started to notice a difference. And I've actually lowered my cholesterol by almost half. Because that was the contributing, like, that's another thing, right? Like, think of all these things. So I took those out and increased the fat, and life just feels so much better. So since then, and switching my thyroid medication, since then I've lowered my dose to half. So I'm on half the dose of thyroid medication. Also, my cholesterol, like I said, is down to half. So when I started carnivore, it was at 8.44, and now it's down to 5.1. So that's just by getting rid of the inflammation and eating fat and butter and meat. So I also do fasting. I do long-term fasting. I'll do between 18-hour fasts and 24-hour fasts. I've done 36 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours. I even did a 100-hour fast. Each of those fasts will trigger something different within your body. And the people that I've learned these from are, one person I've learned from was Dr. Mindy Pelz, in her book, Fast Like a Girl. And she explains why fasting is so important to us. She gives you also detailed reasons why we fast differently. So with our progesterone and estrogen, and how there's different times that we need to be focused on those. Even when you're not going, when you're not getting your period anymore and you don't have all those hormones, you still have them, because different parts of your body help create estrogen. For example, your adrenal glands that sit in your stomach, above your stomach, below your stomach, they sit here. You need to take care of those, because that's where those things happen. When you have your adrenal glands will produce estrogen. So when your ovaries are not producing estrogen anymore, your adrenal glands are producing estrogen. So if you have adrenal fatigue, yeah, that's a real thing. So you need to keep it happy. So that's why I took out the caffeine. Going back to the caffeine, that's why I took it out, because with caffeine, it stimulates us. It gives us that, it can give you that adrenal feeling, and it can give you adrenal fatigue. So I was drinking a lot of coffee. So one coffee a day probably wouldn't do anything, depending on if you're sensitive to it or not. The fasting as well, what it does is it gets rid of all these old cells in our body. cells that we don't need, the cells that are just kind of there and causing problems. So we want to get rid of those. So yes. So what else can I tell you? So there is those things. When you start out with fasting, a lot of times we want to make sure our bodies are fat adapted, which means your body is using fat as the energy source. Your body will create glucose. People, like I've listened to many conversations, and I have a conversation with my partner, and he's like, you need to have, we have these discussions about carbs. I'm like, I don't need carbs. I get the energy from carbs, and I don't get hangry. You know when you get hangry? I don't get hangry anymore. I don't have that high low, I'm balanced. So that's why I can just go longer. And I don't have breakfast. I wait till later. Like I will have a coffee this morning, but I won't have actually food until later on today. So yeah, and that's kind of what I like to do. So when you start with your fasting, start out intermittent fasting. And the more, go with a little bit less carbs, because the higher the carbs are, the harder it is for your body to transition. So slowly lower back your carbs. Don't have as many. Now, when I'm saying having carbs, then you probably are wondering, what are you talking about? There's different apps that you can get. One is called Chronometer, and the Chronometer app, you can insert your food into the app and you can see how many carbs you're having. And to be really dive into that nutrition and understand, it's good to see it, because otherwise we don't see it. And when you eat too many carbs, your body will turn that into fat, and then it stores it. And it turns it into trans fat. Things that I've learned along the way. It turns it into trans fat, so you don't want to have that. And it's a hard time to get rid of it. So use those fasting times to get your body to burn the excess body fat that is there, the saved fat, because your body will go in and it needs to get energy from somewhere, and guess where it's taking it from there. So that's the first thing. Start with intermittent fasting if you're going to go that route. Start out with maybe like a 14-hour fast. So whatever time you finish your last meal of the day, so say at 6 o'clock, you're not going to eat the next day until 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the next meal you're going to have is at 10 in the morning. So then that gives you that 14-hour fast, and then you go from there. So that's how you can start it. I really, really love how I feel, how my body has reacted to these things. I really feel great about this. If you have any questions, please leave them in this video and I can get back to you and answer them whenever I get a chance to. And I appreciate you for following and joining in. Just a quick little live. I just wanted to jump on and say good morning and share a little bit of information. And if you're interested in more, let's talk. All right. Hey, good morning. Hey, Marielle. What is it? Upper back. Oh, when you get that little hump. Okay. So here's one. Thanks for that. Because I was sitting here, I was like, I didn't see anybody on the live. So I'm like, I'm just talking to myself, but of course it's going to go up. Okay. Marisol. Okay. Marisol. So upper back. Now here's a couple different options. Hold on. Okay. So see these bands? You know, these bands you can get. Okay. I'll show you. All right. So let's talk this. So that hump in your back. So what you can also do is you can bring your arms up here and bring those arms back in and open this way and squeeze. All right. And then give that little bit of a pause right here. So you're squeezing your shoulder blades together and forward and squeeze. Okay. So that would be one. Number two, what you want to do is when you're standing, if you get this kind of going on, I want you to think about bringing your shoulders back and down. Okay, so there's that position. Hold this in nice and tight. So from here, shoulders back, roll them back, and then push them down. And then keep that nice and tight. That's going to squeeze. Okay, so this is another option, is getting one of these resistant bands. And we're going to do banded pull-aparts. Okay, so what this looks like is our arms are straight out in front of you. Okay, so this position. And we're going to bring our shoulders, retract them back. Okay, so pull back. Then what we're going to do is we're going to pull apart with your band. Now, we don't want to just like whip it open. We're going to just add that that tension. Okay, so our band is going to go on our hands. There's different types of bands. I'm just going to use this one. Oh, there's another one. Hold on. Two types. So you can use this or you can use this, whichever. You just want to create some activation. So from here, we're going to shoulders back, we're going to squeeze and squeeze. Right? So what that's doing is it's called a banded pull apart. So with that back, so we're going to pull our shoulder, but we're going to retract them back and then squeeze it open and hold. Back, squeeze here. Okay, so try those. Those are great. Even if you go like this, here, and then slowly open those arms and squeeze. Okay, so that would be one that you could do. See if that helps. Try that. Thanks for that question. Because like fitness questions are great too. If anybody has any fitness questions, I can totally answer those. What's another one that I could suggest? On like a Superman. So you're on your stomach. This way, I go this way. Hold on. All right. Move my chair. So we're on our stomach. So we're going to lift up our chest. Come on down here. All right. So we're here, this position. And you're going to come up. Open. Together. Down. All right. So think about your thumbs. You can put your thumbs up. Right? Thumbs up. And then we're going to open up when our chest is up off the ground. Then come back together. All right. So chest up. A little bit. Open. Together and down. All right. So that's another one that you can try. See if that helps. Hope that helps. Give those two an option. Like I said, you can grab the two bands. Small band. Again, with the small band. Shoulder blades. We're going to retract back and pull. Retract back and squeeze. Cool. I hope that helps as well. If I can think of any other ones, I can let you know. Just watch, because when we're sitting, and then you can also take your chin and push back. You're so welcome. Okay, so another thing you can do is when you're sitting in this, because this is what happens over here. So when you sit up, push your chin back and forward. Pull it back. It's like doing the pigeon. So just take your chin, pull back, squeeze, and release. Pull back and release. That's going to help with that back. Cool. The great books that I, like going back to the nutrition thing. I'm just going to show you guys a couple of my books that I have. Actually, I've got a nice little collection. Pretty excited. So this one, I was telling you about this yesterday. This Ben, it's AZADI, Metabolic Freedom. It's a 30-day guide to restore your metabolism, heal hormones, and burn fat. Okay, one. This one. You're welcome. I know, right? It's like double chin. That's like really, really beautiful. Okay, so random things that I do. You're welcome. I show my partner and he's like, I think his eyes are going to roll out of his head sometimes because it's just, I literally don't see, right now it shows me that nobody's watching my live. But I'm glad that Maribel, you're actually, Maribel, right? Marisol. I've said your name wrong 4 to 5 times. Marisol. There we go. I got it right now. Anyways, I think I'm just sitting here just really talking to the screen because I don't think anybody's even here. But then I look and then I realize, oh, there is somebody watching. Yes. Then I'm just doing random silly things. Okay. So anyways, back to this. Another book. This one. Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind. This one. He said, Susie, good morning. This one. Another good one. Okay. 2. This book. Why do people do that? I'm so sorry. Influencer, this one? I don't mean to do that. I don't want to be that person. This book. Okay, anyways, this book is a great book. Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind. I'm sorry that it's like backwards. Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind. You need to get this book. This explains to you why changing your diet makes a huge impact in your mental health. Because if your mental health is struggling, I'm going to guarantee that if you changed your nutrition to getting rid of the processed foods and carbs, your mental health will change. I've watched my daughter's mental health go from not good to amazing. And this is a kid that was on medications like you wouldn't believe, from psychiatrists, from bipolar, borderline personality disorder, to depression, to ADHD. Get this book. Go and get this book. Another one. This one. Casey Means. Dr. Casey Means. Good Energy. You want, with Callie Means. You need to read this one. This explains about great information about our healthcare and what doctors don't know, what they don't learn. They know nothing. They don't talk about nutrition. Find out a doctor that when you go in, and then when you go to the doctor and you're not feeling good, do they ever go, so what are you eating? What are you eating? Do they ever ask that question? Or, oh, here, take this and go get it. Go get this prescription. But do they ask you how you're eating? Do they ever say, wow, all these foods you're eating is causing a lot of inflammation in your body. You probably should fix that. And maybe I won't have to give you a script. I don't know. I want you to do that. Next time you go to the doctor, have high blood pressure. Ask, what's the first thing they say? Oh, let's check your blood pressure. Oh, we better give you a prescription. But do they ever say, what are you eating? How are you eating? Geez, that could cause some inflammation. I don't know. And you're on the verge of having type 2 diabetes. But you know what? Here, take it. Don't change anything. Let's just cover it up. And another one. Fast Like a Girl, Dr. Mindy Pelz. We don't need to eat all day long, everyone. You don't need to eat all day long. Well, if I don't eat, my metabolism isn't going to be up. Yes, it will be. Your body, when it gets into is it about the money? It's about the money of the pharmaceutical companies making money. Yes, exactly, Marisol. 100%. It's like, think of this. What makes pharmaceutical companies money? Sick people. Sick people make pharmaceutical companies money. The only two medications that I have to take are my thyroid medication, and I have to take a high blood pressure medication. This is probably caused by damage from my thyroid or from probably having some insulin resistance. I'm trying to reverse it. I'm at a very small dose. I take it just I'm on a very small dose, and I'm like, I'd like to not be on it at all. But think about the medications. The more prescriptions they write, the more money they make. It's a money-making business. People that are sick. Oh, you want this to be fast? Okay, here you go. They don't ask you the questions. What are you eating? How's your diet? Are you getting any exercise? One of the first things they do is write a prescription. I don't go to the doctor unless I need to. The only time I go is just to get my blood work checked. Maybe once every 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, whatever. But with my thyroid, I would go just to make sure, but it's been so good lately. It's like, no. So anyways, think about that. Think about them apples. Again, those 4 books. You're just tuning in. I don't know how many people are actually watching this live. I have no idea. It says 0. Just 0. But I can see there's 2 people at least watching. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And you know what? Give me a like if you're enjoying these lives that I'm doing. I know that there's some of you have been out here and messaging and commenting and sharing. I can't express how much I appreciate it. Share my videos, share my lives, so that there are people that we don't understand. I've had when I talk to different people, it's like, what are carbs? What's a good fat? What's a good protein? And we're not taught this. When you go to the doctor, they don't tell you. You need to go to a nutritionist or a dietitian for them to tell you what foods you should be eating. And when I look on, there's another frustration is when I go to see what they tell people that are on the verge of, say, diabetes, and what they tell them to eat. It just drives me crazy. I used to take anything they prescribe. Exactly. Mask it. Let's just mask it. Why not get to the root of the problem? Why is this not working? What's happening? Like, why? I don't want to just mask it. Oh, it says I have 4. Oh, thank you for letting me know that. I appreciate that. I have 4 watching. I appreciate that. Thank you, Marisol. So I've been dealing with eczema on my hands here. And for the likes of me, I could not get rid of it. I have used everything. I am not using a cortisol. I'm not using a steroid. I don't want to use a steroid on it. And I had this test done. It's called the Carroll Food Intolerance Test. Now 5.